What's up guys? Welcome back to All Things Korean. Today's video topic is going to be about the difference between the particles 에 and 에서. Let's start by looking at the similarities. Both 에 and 에서 are location markers, and both of them are postpositional particles, which means they are placed at the end of a noun. However, I think the similarities end there. There are very big differences between 에 and 에서. That's why I made a whole video about it. But before I jump into it, here's a quick disclaimer. 에 and 에서 both have so many different meanings and usages. I looked this up in the Korean dictionary, and 에, the particle 에, has 15 definitions, and the particle 에서 has 6 definitions. So obviously I won't be able to cover all of them in this video, but what I will be dealing here is the particle 에 and 에서 when it follows a place noun, a location noun, and is followed by a verb. I think this structure is where a lot of Korean learners get confused and make mistakes. So this is the main usage of 에 and 에서 that I will be talking about today, but just know that 에 and 에서 both have a bunch of different other meanings that should be saved for a different video. Okay, so let's get started. For the location markers 에 and 에서, I'm also going to be dividing them again, and I'm going to compare 에 and 에서 for one case, for one definition, and I'm going to compare 에 and 에서 for a different case, a different definition. So just note that there are parts 1 and 2 to this video. So let's start with the first one. The difference between 에 and 에서 is 에 is the location marker for the state or the existence of something, and 에서 is the location marker for an action. So simply put, the difference lies in the verb that follows the particle. So depending on which verb you're using, you will either be using 에 or 에서. So let's start by looking at 에. The verb that follows 에 is most likely going to be a descriptive verb because it's the location marker for the state or the existence of something. It's not a particular action that you can add an ing to. So the most common verb that would be used after 에 is 있다 or 없다. 있다 and 없다 are verbs that are referring to the presence of something, whether something is there or not. It's not an action, it's just existence. A couple of examples. 저는 집에 있어요. 집에 있어요. It doesn't say what I'm doing at home. I'm just home. My existence, my presence is at home. A second example. 지금 카페에 예쁜 여자가 있어요. There's a pretty girl at the cafe. It doesn't state what she's doing, she's just there. And depending on your level of speech, the verb 있다 can be expressed in different ways, such as 계시다 for someone who is older or higher than you in rank. So, 할아버지께서는 집에 계세요. Instead of 있어요, I can say 계세요, but the meaning is pretty much the same. And again, you would use 에 instead of 에서. And the opposite of 있다 is 없다. 집에 사람이 없어요. 집에 사람이 없어요. You can also use descriptive verbs that talk about quantity, such as 많다 or 적다. Again, this is not an action, it's just the existence. Is there a lot that's present there, or is there a little bit? It's not an action, it's just a state. Some more examples. 공원에 꽃이 많아요. There are a lot of flowers at the park. Doesn't say what the flowers are doing, they're just there and there are a lot of them. Next example, 지하철에 사람이 적어요. 지하철에 사람이 적어요. So there aren't a lot of people in the subway. Again, not an action. Or you can even get really specific with the quantity, such as 교실에 책상이 10개 있어요. And here's another tip that I think might be helpful. So when you're looking at the English translation of the sentence that you're trying to say, if the only verb in that clause, if the only verb is be, or any form of be, such as are, or am or is, etc. If that's the only verb there, then most likely the particle that you need to use is 에. So let's look at a couple of the examples I just gave you. 저는 집에 있어요. I am at home. I am. That's the only verb, right? So 에 would be the correct particle. 공원에 꽃이 많아요. There are a lot of flowers at the park. So are is the main verb in that clause, and that's a form of be. That's the only and main verb of that clause. So again, the particle that you need to use is 에. Now let's look at 에서. So contrary to 에, which is followed by a descriptive verb, 에서 is followed by an action verb. These are most of the verbs that you are already familiar with. So I'm going to take the examples that I showed you from 에, and then I'll give you a comparison example using 에서. 저는 집에 있어요. 저는 집에서 자요. 자요, sleeping is the action that I'm doing. 카페에 예쁜 여자가 있어요. 카페에서 예쁜 여자가 차를 마셔요. Again, she's not just there, she is drinking a cup of tea. 교실에 책상이 10개 있어요. 교실에서 한국어 공부를 해요. Again, I'm studying. This is an action. It's not just the state or existence of students. Keep in mind that action verbs don't necessarily have to be including physical movement. It can be something like 명동에서 연예인을 봤어요. The act of seeing doesn't require movement, but it's something that is still considered an action. So that was the first meaning of 에 and 에서. So the difference lies in whether the verb that follows is talking about the state or quantity or existence of something, or whether it is followed by an action verb. The second meaning that we're going to look at today is pretty straightforward actually. So 에 is used as a marker for the destination, and 에서 is used as a location marker for the starting point. So you can think of 에 as to and 에서 as from. Again, I'll give you a couple of examples for each case. So for 에, I said it's the destination, so it can be translated as to. And like you would in English, you would use verbs like going or arriving. 저는 내일 서울에 가요. 서울에 가요. I'm going to Seoul tomorrow. The opposite would be 저는 서울에서 왔어요. 서울에서 왔어요. I came from Seoul. 서울에서 왔어요. Another example. 부산에서 출발해요. 부산에서 출발해요. I am departing from Busan. The opposite of that, where would I arrive from Busan? 저는 일본에 도착해요. 일본에 도착해요. I arrive at Japan. So those were the comparisons of 에 and 에서. I hope this video helps you and that you are now able to make the distinctions a little more easily. If you found this video informative and enjoyed it, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to All Things Korean for more Korean related videos. You can also follow me on Instagram for little tips and bits of Korean information, and I will see you in the next one. 다음 영상에서 만나요.